Hello, everyone. It's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland Reviewer, and welcome to Lost in the Wasteland, my weekly interview show where I learn a little bit more about somebody else's perspective on movies. And joining me for round seven is my friend and frequent collaborator. It is Adam Ritchie. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, the reason I'm smiling so much because round seven, it's been a journey. Yeah, pleasure to be on always. I think
This
I
has been a
pushed for this more than
marathon.
you did.
We've
Yeah,
been running for years.
we
So
have.
there you go.
Um,
Which,
I'd like to know when we did our first show, actually. Would have been 3 years ago. So I don't mean to put
probably.
that on you, but yeah.
Well, I've been doing this interview show since fall 2020, 5 year anniversary.
Wow.
Um, because I am pushing like the next big milestone for this show is 300. So I'm gonna
Crazy.
scream "This is Sparta" at the beginning of the 300th episode. So there you go. Because I cannot help myself but make movie references. It's impossible not to. But,
That's why
you
we're all
know,
here.
that's why we're all here talking about movies on the internet.
Mm.
But so this is indeed round seven. This is the first time I'm doing round seven. Either that or Jess did it, my wife. So
Mm.
usually it's either Jess
Just
or
as
Adam
always.
who are the
Just as always,
first
the
ones.
pioneer. Yeah.
Because also it's convenient. If I'm like, I don't have a guest, well, Jess, it's your turn to hop on and answer some questions. But Adam,
It
let's
was
get
in your vows, wasn't it? That she had to be on your show when when you asked for it.
100%. It's like for richer or poor, sickness and in health, whether I have a guest or not, you're coming on my YouTube channel. So there you go. That's what real love is.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
so if you ever ask yourself, like Foreigner, I want to know what love is, that's it. So there you go. But let's dive in, Adam. So starting off with my first question here, if you could only watch a film in a theater one more time for the rest of your life, what film would that be?
Um, Look, just a heads up, all of these questions were really tough for me to find answers to. But this one was probably the easiest in
Okay.
all honesty. But I'm I'm reading the question because I think you can interpret the question on different ways, but I'm going to answer it as if it's the last time I would ever see that film, but it would have to be in the cinema. Is that what you mean? But that's how I'm taking it.
So more meant like today. This is the last day you'll ever step foot in a movie theater ever again. What movie you're gonna
Ah,
watch? Could be
okay,
the
that's a
same
different
movie.
answer.
Okay.
No, it would be a different answer. It would be Jurassic Park because I've never seen Jurassic Park in at the
Oh,
cinema.
that would be really cool.
Yeah, the
What
answer
was your answer for the
just
other one?
for shits and giggles, yeah, it was the Goonies because I've seen it so many times. I think I could. I never
Put it to
obviously never
bed.
saw that in the cinema. Yeah, I could watch it one more time if it was the last time because I've seen it. It'd be close to 60 times, honestly. So it would be, yeah, a nice little send off.
That's very fair. And obviously, Goonies is such a fun film that so many people watch when they were kids over and over and over again. And were very
Mm.
upset when it was supposed to be a movie night in my middle school and they switched it last minute to Finding Nemo. So then I hated Finding Nemo for
Oh,
years because it
for no
wasn't the
reason.
Goonies. Yeah.
That's
It's
so
like,
good.
this isn't the
This
Goonies.
is
I don't like this damn
it.
fish.
It just fits into my philosophy that you'll enjoy movies at different times of your life when you watch them. Like there's so many factors that can make you love or hate something.
You
Yeah.
know, you could hate something because it's not the Goonies and then watch it 10 years later and be like, I was just being a
Because it's not the Goonies.
dumbass. I was being a dumbass sixth grader. So there you go.
Yeah.
But no, Jurassic Park, like that would be an amazing experience to have in a theater,
Mm.
which well, I guess three more years until
30
it gets another
another anniversary. Yeah.
another anniversary.
There'll be, yeah, more steel
Fives and
books.
fives and zeros here. So there you go.
Mm.
Unless they, come out with like this is gonna be the last Jurassic World and they just put all the movies in the theater,
Yeah.
which that's never gonna
Yeah.
happen because the last one made like $900 million. So
Mate,
worldwide.
they're getting the Fast and Furious zones. People just turn up
Well,
regardless.
well, that's the thing. They might not make the most money here in the United States anymore, but world
Yeah.
loves fast cars. and
Yep.
dinosaurs.
Well, it's
So,
the same reason we keep getting Despicable Me's and Ice Ages, right? Because they make money globally. It's not just about the domestic market.
but
And then they sell
Adam,
well too.
Adam, how dare you say something so true yet controversial that it's not just about
Mate,
America?
I will never get into that country while Trump is in office. He wouldn't allow me in.
Just like we don't want you.
Yeah.
Next up, if you could add any song to any movie scene, what would be the song in the scene?
Yeah, easiest answer followed up by the most difficult one.
Okay.
So what I've done, and it's going to be repeat answers to be honest, but um, the ending of Past Lives, I think would be. I know I've only seen Past Lives once, but that ending does stick with me. I'd be great to see The Beautiful Ones by Prince played over that,
Oh.
because it is about lost love and it's really dramatic and emotional. Yeah, I think that would suit really well rather than, well, not saying it's going to be better than what we
Mhm.
got, but I think it'd be a pretty good way to end it actually.
Awesome.
I could
That's
I
a
could
okay.
actually watch the movie one day and just play the song while it's on, actually.
That's a fun thing you could do, especially if you own it on physical media. You never have to
Correct.
worry about
Well,
just
look,
throw that
I,
music onto.
I remember you telling us a story on our Cinematic Wasteland podcast how you watched a silent movie listening to a Dua Lipa soundtrack. It's like a Dua Lipa album. That was your soundtrack to an
Yeah,
old
I'm just
black and
like,
white
well, this
silent
doesn't
movie.
have any music because like the recording of it on YouTube had nothing. I'm like,
Yeah,
I I can't
yeah,
sit here in complete silence the whole entire time. I think
yeah.
the best one was in my cinema class in high school. They put a death metal album over Nosferatu from 1922, which was like something else. But I like to call this, I'm renaming this question the does Born to Run fit at the end of every movie? Because I keep seeing those videos pop up.
It'd be good
Uh,
on Natural Born Killers and True Romance. Thelma and Louise would be good. Born to Run.
Somebody put it at the end of There Will Be Blood after he's like,
Oh wow.
I'm finished. And then it was instead of like the all the strings from Johnny Greenwood, instead it's just Bruce Springsteen. And I'm just like, he better run. Or he's going away from murder. Or,
Wow.
realistically, he probably owns
He
the
probably
town.
wouldn't.
So
He would have been fine, yeah.
he owns the town. Who's
What
going to arrest
priest? We'd
him?
never had a priest, yeah.
It's like, what Sunday brother are you talking about? There's only one. He's the good one. The other one was the afterbirth.
Gives me
It's
gives
like
me a good
weird
idea that
Sunday.
the Lonely Island could do like a mock There Will Be Blood 2 skit or something following up post death. That'd be pretty good.
Oh my God. Andy Samberg's just dressed up as Daniel Plainview.
Yeah, yeah.
Damn.
Be
Now,
amazing.
as I've been getting through these groupings of questions, I've been trying to shake things up and not just make them completely movie related. So we got a couple of music related ones because, to be frank, I
Hmm.
spend a ridiculous amount of time listening to music. So what we have here is, well, a couple of favorite questions. But Adam, what's your favorite music album?
Um, the clear, I mean, there's so many, but the clear standout is Prince's The Love Symbol album from the
Nice.
early 90s, After Diamonds and Pearls. It's called the opera, but it's just has the love symbol on top. Yeah, I mean, I don't know I don't know if you know that album or not, but it's
I will
insanely
say
amazing.
I haven't listened to any Prince's albums as an album, like any of
Hmm.
his music as an album, except for probably Purple Rain. But that's
Yeah,
a soundtrack for a movie, so that
yeah,
one makes sense. But Prince is a artist where I feel like I, along with a lot of people, take him for granted and
yeah.
just like don't really
Mm,
think about just how amazing of a musician and a
yeah,
songwriter he was. Because like I think the moment where it really woke me up to just how incredible he is, it was at that concert for George where they did. While My
Yeah.
Guitar Gently Weeps. And of
Yeah.
all people, Eric
Mm,
Clapton was on the stage. All these people, it was Prince that did the solo, and he just absolutely
yeah.
killed it. I'm like, sir,
I've watched that. Yeah.
I'm like, I did not give you enough respect.
He is yeah, look, obviously he's my favorite artist of all time, and I don't think there's ever been anyone ever as good as him, and I don't think everyone will ever be as good as him. That was a bit of a political statement, that guitar solo, because he missed it because he wasn't nominated in the Rolling Stones Top 100 guitarists of all time, and he's on record as saying, like, he was asked a question, "What do you want to be remembered as when you die?" And he said, "A great guitarist." That's what he wanted. Nothing else of what he does in his oeuvre. Like, he plays every instrument except brass, except horns. He did everything. Produced, cut. Like, no other artist can do that nowadays. I mean, Beyonce
Well,
has 17 writers for a song that says "Girls Around the World" 74 times. So, you know,
well, cue the Michael Jordan, and I took that personally meme because it definitely seems like Prince did. Was it like
yes, he did.
Prince?
Yeah.
Prince has arguably, probably the agreed upon greatest halftime Super Bowl halftime
Mm,
show performance of
for sure.
all time too. And like
Yeah.
I don't think people were gonna beat that.
No.
That just sets such a bar for everything. And he's just incredible artist. And I love his music. It's weird because
Mm,
like he's not an artist that I listen to all the time, but a second a Prince song comes on, you're just like you're dialed
yeah.
in.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
it's some you're in for something special.
Well, the Love Symbol album is it is a story from beginning to end as well, because he did actually release a VHS movie of it
Oh,
as it was as a soundtrack. I had that once. Geez, I wish I still owned that because it could be worth some
mm.
coins, to be honest. But yeah, it is an opera. Like, the whole album is an opera, and even the end songs are very operatic. And right, yeah, it's not just a series of great songs. It is a cohesive thing. That's why I love it
we
so much.
we do love a rock opera and a concept album.
Mm, mm,
Take you
yeah,
on a journey for sure.
yeah.
Now, thinking a little bit more specific, what's your favorite
Hmm.
song?
It's just well, the beautiful ones is, but just to mix it up a little bit and add an equal second, that isn't to do with Prince. Everlong from Foo Fighters. I
Nice.
adore Everlong. I think it's incredible. Again, an emotional song, strangely, but yeah.
That was such a specific time in terms of music because like I spent a lot of time watch and listening to music. I spent a lot of time watching music docs and stuff like that because I
Mm,
love music. I love documentaries and I love music, so it goes together. But like the Foo Fighters were such an interesting and significant band because it's the end of grunge. We enter this
hmm.
post-grunge era.
Yeah,
Dave
pop
Grohl was
rock.
literally in the greatest grunge band of all time in Nirvana.
Yeah, yeah,
And then he goes off and then creates arguably the biggest rock band the past 30 years.
yeah.
Because if you think about
Hard
it,
to
like
argue. Yeah,
we're in a spell where which hurts me honestly because like I love rock music. Rock music is my favorite genre of music.
yeah,
Rock's really not in its prime or in a shining moment at this point in terms of music. Alternative has
yeah.
changed so much of rock music, and Foo Fighters is a band that's been struggling through. And oh,
Mm.
their one album, what the I'm blanking on the name of it. It was the one that had like White Limo and all of those like Wasted Light, I think it was the
Oh,
album.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
When that
Yep.
came out, I listened to that so much. Speaking of listening to albums from a band, but Foo Fighters, picked up the torch and ran with it for rock music. And Everlong is such a great song. And it's so
Yeah,
catchy,
it's incredible.
has good emotion to it. And it's quintessential Foo Fighters. Like if I needed to get across to somebody what Foo Fighters vibe is, you put on Everlong. Like that's it.
Yeah. I mean, what got me into the song mainly was back in the days when I used to watch music videos, and because the video for this is so damn good, it's
Yep.
quite funny but just captivating as well, and it does what a video for a song should do. It actually makes you listen to the song and watch
Mm.
it. So, yeah, hard not to love that, and the album that song is off is The Color and the Shape is probably my second
Yep.
favorite album. Yeah.
I at one point had an enormous CD collection.
Me too.
Um, and I had to start choosing because I moved a decent amount as an adult, and it
Mm,
was like I had to choose what I was gonna like keep and hone in on, and obviously I chose my movies. So even like I had
yeah.
to get rid of a lot of my books. I chose to just completely shift to it's interesting. I'm such a proponent of physical media for movies, but like I went full blown just streaming for music. Um, but
Yeah,
you
same.
know,
Exactly the same for me.
and I had every single Foo Fighter album on CD, up until the point
Yeah,
like I had
same.
them. So like I listened to so many of them over and over again for sure. Well, that was a little diversion into some music, but
Mm,
let's think about this one. So I thought this was a fun question. Now, Adam,
it
if you
is a
could
fun
star in
question.
a biopic, which real life person would you play?
Now, sticking with the theme of a movie I watched earlier today, and
Okay.
because I have a moon face, Luke
Nice.
Costello. I think Luke
Nice.
Costello would be fun as hell to play for one thing, because I know there's something deeper going on there, but he
Mm.
just has this on-screen magic about him. He's very, very funny, very physically funny as well, which I don't think I could pull off at all, but I have the round face for it. So
So, do you have an idea of who would be your partner in crime in this?
does it have to be, well, I didn't think of it, but would it have to be someone I know or could it be an actual actor? Because I don't know.
I guess either,
Top,
but
top of my
I,
head, top
uh,
of my head, Skylar Gazondo would be a good Abbott
nice.
or geez, I don't know if you want someone dramatic, who can do comedy. Robert Pattinson would also be really good.
I
But
You get to hang out with our Pats, do a movie.
yeah,
I feel like this
yeah,
could be the next Stan and Ollie, which I wish more people watched that and talked about because
yeah.
I love that. John C. Reilly and Steve Coogan. What a great combo.
Mm.
Like
I
obviously that got a lot of
yeah.
BAFTA attention because
Mm.
but
I
like
sadly haven't seen it.
o- outside of that, not a whole lot of people talking about
Mm.
that film anymore. But I love John C. Reilly so much, and I love Steve Coogan too.
Yeah.
Um, But I think I really started connecting with Steve Coogan because of the Trip movies. Him and Rob Brydon just doing
I,
impressions.
I've not seen those either, but Steve Coogan has a character. I, I get
Alan
clips of him all the
Partridge.
time. Alan Partridge, yes, of course. Yeah. Yeah, so that's
So
I know him from that. Yeah. What a
so
genius.
I've been trying to shake up my book reading and book listening on audiobooks. And
Hmm.
I've been reading a lot more humorous or listening to a lot more
Ah,
humorous books. And Jess and I have listened to multiple Philomena Kunk books.
oh,
Um,
excellent. Is she
um,
narrating them?
Yeah, it's her.
Oh, awesome.
Matt Berry did a book in character as Stephen Toast.
Oh, you're joking. Really?
And Steve Coogan did one in character as Alan Partridge.
That's amazing. I did not know this.
So I listened to all of them on Audible. So
Mm.
shameless plugs if you want to, give me money, Amazon. Um, but
They can
they're a
spare it.
lot of fun, and Steve Coogan was so much fun as Alan Partridge. It makes me
Mm.
want to go back and like actually watch the show because I had never actually watched the show before. So
Yeah, it's
it's
really,
only
really good.
it's only 12 episodes combined because it's two series of 6 episodes. So like that
That's how
British
the
television,
that's how
make it
they do
easy.
it.
That's how they
Yeah.
do it. Now, Adam, if you have to choose one person to
Mm.
record all audiobooks, who would you choose?
Again, I have two answers for this, but one of them's more practical. I
Okay.
don't know if you know Stephen Fry.
Oh
the
my
British
God.
guy. You do know
So
Stephen Fry?
speaking of, Jess and I listened to him tell scary stories for an
Ah, yeah,
audiobook. So like
yeah.
he told Sleepy Hollow and a whole
Ah,
bunch of others.
awesome.
Stephen Fry's great.
Yeah, yeah. I love Stephen Fry. Just as a human being, I think he's an incredible
Hmm.
person. And yeah, he has a wonderful storytelling voice,
Hmm.
soothing, and it's and he's literate for one thing. He knows how to say things. Yeah, yeah. I couldn't think of anyone. Well, the next one closest to it is one that would never happen, but Christian Bale, I think, would actually be really good. Because I think he
Yeah,
does very good voice acting.
he does indeed. And
Mm.
he did so good of an American accent that I didn't realize he's Cockney as hell until I watched him
No, he's
do it.
Welsh. He's
Yeah,
Welsh. Yeah.
it's he has such a actual thick accent. When he went up
Yeah.
there and did his speech for the fighter,
Wait a minute.
I'm like, I think my brain fried for a second because I'm like, what?
I The same thing happened to me when I heard Gary Oldman speak for the first time.
Like, what
Because
does Gary Oldman actually sound like?
yeah, yeah. Mia Goth is also one that's her real voice is really interesting. I'm not sure if you
I
have heard Mia Goth
I
in an
don't think
interview.
I've actually listened to her like give an interview or anything, but I feel like Gary Oldman probably
She
the
sounds like Betty Boop.
interesting.
Way too innocent,
It's
she
always
does.
so interesting because like even Mikey Madsen, like
Mm,
when she's not a Nora, she's not a Nora. He's so soft spoken and just like, and I'm
yeah.
just like,
Yeah.
wow. And that just echoes just how much of a character she brought to that. But no, Christian
Mm,
Bale can do anything, voice acting wise. That would be really interesting.
mm,
But it's especially because I've been listening to so many audiobooks, and obviously some people have like a good great timbre for like telling a story and stuff like that.
yeah,
But Stephen
definitely.
Fry is fantastic and does actually do audiobooks, which is really cool.
Does the Harry Potter series.
Oh,
Did you know?
very
Did not
good.
know that. Yeah, he does the Harry
No,
Potter
well, because
series.
I've had zero
Recommended.
interest in listening to an audiobook of Harry Potter when I have read those books so many
Yeah,
times.
fair enough.
Uh,
Yeah.
and now we'll, be watching a new show on HBO Max about it. Because nobody asked for this except for Warner Brothers. And probably J.K. Rowling, so she could just keep making
Look,
more money.
we're gonna watch it. We know we don't want it, but we're gonna watch it.
Well,
I
I
want to
watch
watch it for
everything. I'm gonna
now.
go watching anything.
Look, my main attraction to watching it is John Lithgow as Dumbledore because I don't think he could have done anything more perfect. I adore John Lithgow. So I was very
I'm
excited about that.
I'm wondering if he's gonna go more Richard Harris-y, or because like
Mm,
I feel like he's much more of a Michael Gambon kind of energy.
yes. Yeah.
So
Yeah. He has the deeper voice.
roguish, roguish Dumbledore. You're not getting like,
Mm.
Harry, did you go into the Chamber of Secrets? And no, it's like, Harry, did you put your name in the Goblet of Fire? So he said calmly,
Yes.
as he did. It was a choice. Now,
A better
I'm
choice
also,
though, actually.
hey, like it was a fiery moment.
Mm.
There you go. You're all welcome. So I've been, which this is actually an interesting segue into the next question because
Mm.
I was such an avid reader growing up. Books were
Mm.
my thing. Books were my biggest hobby before movies were. But, and what's your favorite book?
Similar to you, I read a lot growing up. I read a lot
Mhm.
kind of until I had kids. So I kind of stopped reading or slowed down very much in my late, well, 29th, early 30s.
Mhm.
But my favorite books are still from my childhood. I devoured anything Roald Dahl. He was just,
Nice.
and still is. I love Roald Dahl.
Mhm.
So again, I'm going to cheat and have two, but I do adore Danny the Champion of the World. And
Nice.
the book I've read more than probably any book I've ever read is The Witches. Um,
Witches.
yeah, and no movie that they've made from it has matched the way I felt reading that book. Just it's such a cozy thing. I love it.
Well, I feel like very few filmmakers have been able to dial in to
Mm,
Roald Dahl's
yeah.
frequency in terms of how he tells a story. And like,
Wes Anderson is
I
very
think,
much the best.
yep, and is going
Yeah.
to continue to keep adapting Roald Dahl
Mm.
stuff, which I'm perfectly happy
I,
with.
Izzy, I didn't realize anything had
Well,
been announced.
I don't think anything's been announced, but like he
Oh,
literally just made four short films based off of
yeah.
his stories, which that
Mm,
got me so excited because I remember reading Henry Sugar in
mm,
school when I was a kid and loved it. And I
yeah.
couldn't believe they were making short films about those
Mm,
stories. And they I absolutely love them to pieces. And like Fantastic Mr. Fox, like he took
yeah.
something
Come
that's so
on.
simple and
Yeah.
ran with it and had so many layers to it. But yeah, few directors have been able to take a Roald Dahl story and like really capture that spirit about it.
Mm.
Like even like
Matilda, though, I'm sorry to not to
yeah,
try and counter, but Matilda is a spectacular film.
well, to be fair, I did say few. Danny DeVito can be
Yes.
one
Yeah,
of
yeah,
them.
yeah, he did. He did.
So, which I loved Matilda. I watched that a lot as a kid. But no,
Mm.
I'm big
I
Roald
watched
Dahl
it as
fan
an
as
adult.
well. I don't feel like I've watched it in a while. I can't remember the last time I watched it, but I'm certainly due for a rewatch.
Would have been yeah, it would have been a few years for me at least. I'm trying to think of Embeth Davidt's character's name, Miss something. But yeah,
Miss Honey?
Miss Honey.
Yep.
Yeah, Miss Honey. Yeah, she's stunning. She's
And then the
so beautiful in that
Trunchbull,
movie. Mm. Yeah,
which that was some perfect casting for
it
sure.
was very good casting. Yeah.
Perfect casting. Now, as a follow-up question, what's your favorite book
Mm.
series?
Um, I didn't know you were asking book series. Because I thought it was one question, but no, I can probably can probably answer that. Um, it's Harry Potter. Like it's probably the only series. I mean, I have read a lot of James Patterson and his Alex Cross series, but because
Hmm.
he writes 74 books a year, I just stopped reading them because it was too much to take on.
Simply cannot
Um,
keep up.
no, but yeah, no, Harry Potter, hands down. But Jurassic Park might creep in there because both of those books are really great. But Harry Potter, yeah, I can't go past that.
It's like there's like a whole entire multiple generations of people that Harry Potter just shaped things. Like I
Mm,
remember the first movie came out in when I was 10 and I started reading the books and then I showed up at Walmart, got them the
yeah,
morning they came out, read the whole thing in like 2 days, and then I was there opening weekend for the movies every time they came out too.
mm,
It's just such an influential thing at this point. And
yeah,
thing cycles through and now we're going to get a whole new generation of kids are going to be introduced to a new version of it and
yeah,
it'll just
yeah.
piss off all the millennials and
We'll still
gen
watch it.
xers and stuff like that, and yeah,
Yeah,
I can guarantee you tons of people are still going to watch it for
as
sure.
much as we can play. I'm just going to be the same about the It series that HBO Max has coming with Welcome to Derry. I'm like, yeah, of course I'm going to watch it. Of course I am. But yeah, I'll get around to it.
There you go. Now, getting back into movie related, but who is your
Mm.
favorite supporting character from a movie?
I'll have to cheat again because
Okay.
it's too hard to choose just one. But for me, the the person I wanted to be the most in any movie that I've ever seen is Short Round. Like
Nice.
Short Round would have been like I remember watching Temple of Doom. It was the first Indiana Jones film I ever watched, and I was just like, I want to be Short Round so much. What a great adventure. Blah blah.
Mm.
Yeah, it's just yeah, and just him as a character too. Like, be great to be him. But the next one is I'm sure we're considering him a supporting character, but Doc Brown. Um, I mean,
Yeah, he is.
yeah,
Um, Christopher Lloyd tricked everybody into thinking that he was like 20 years older than he actually is. Because
yeah,
like I
yeah,
remember seeing him and being like, is Christopher Lloyd still alive? and then realizing that they aged him in
Yeah.
Back to the Future.
Yeah. Well, he was 47 because I watched Nobody 2 a couple of days ago and he's approaching 90. He's 87.
Yeah,
So he would have
yeah.
been 40, mid 40s when they were making these in his 50s. So,
I was
yeah.
literally just watching an episode of Taxi before we started
Oh,
recording,
wow.
where
Yeah.
they get his character, the Reverend, to become a taxi driver at the beginning of the
Uh-huh.
second season because I'm watching through that show. But Doc Brown, quotable, such
Mm.
crazy energy. Christopher Lloyd is such an iconic actor in that role. And it's Back to the Future. So it's
Yeah.
perfect. So
Yeah.
now, Adam, if you could join a group of people in any movie, what group of people would you choose? So this could be a friend group, a team, a gang, some kind of organization.
Yeah, repeating myself again, as short round as the person I wanted to be, but anyone I wanted to hang out with no more was the Goonies, of
Yep.
course. Like, how could you not want to be a Goonie? I saw a meme saying people born between 1977 and 83 should be known, or 87 should be known as Goonies, and that's it. Um, and I was like, yeah,
Generation
man,
Generation Goonies.
I'm happy to be known as a Goonie. That'd be great. Yeah. I mean, again, what an adventure, what an awesome time they had, and
They're a fun group of friends.
yeah.
And God, I would have been a chunk.
Me too. I was absolutely doing truffle shuffle.
Oh man, for sure. But they're just such a fun group of characters and
Yeah.
wild thinking about uh like it's still wild to me that Sean Astin was like this child actor, and then it's just like
Yeah.
because he's always Samwise Gamgee to me, um,
Mm.
and will be forever. Now, Adam, my last
Mhm.
question for you. So I always like to leave things off with a bigger question here. Now,
Mm.
I know you have started some of your own podcasts and have some of your own podcasts. So, but if you had to
Mm.
start a podcast about any topic, what would it be about and what would be the formatting and schedule? So, I didn't clarify this beforehand, but like this could even be something like this would be my ideal podcast, but I don't have the time to do it because I definitely have some of
Yeah.
those ideas. But
Yeah.
Adam, what's your answer?
Um, this may happen in my retirement if the idea isn't stolen from me beforehand and someone inevitably does it better. But I have spoken to you and Luke about this one.
Yes.
The Masters of Cinema would be one I'd love to start and basically talk about the greatest, go through the films of the greatest directors we've ever known and do deeper dives. So not just watch the film and come and talk about it, but kind of try and analyze it a little bit in a historic way, like the history behind it, how it's influenced everything, the way it was shot, what it was shot with, just all that inside knowledge. I'd like to delve into that, and they'd probably be long episodes,
Mhm.
but I'd love to be able to do those deep dives, and it gives a great excuse to go back and watch amazing old movies again. So yeah, I
Absolutely.
didn't want to give the idea away, but it's out there in the universe now. It's copyrighted officially.
Don't come at us. This is Adam's idea. But I'm assuming you would start with some Hitchcock for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Be Hitchcock and Wilder, and you know, I don't know, so many from that time. I did start creating like a list, and I was like, it's just going to be too much time. Even though I've started another one, a new one I've started, the horror one, isn't that time consuming because basically I watch them and go and remember stuff off the top of my head. I don't have to do homework, I
Yeah.
suppose. Yeah. So when I've got time to do the homework, if I win lotto or something and can retire early, I would start it, I think. Yeah. Got to fill my days in somehow.
Well, and you know, we do have our cinematic wasteland show, and that
Mm.
had a different model originally for me, but it just became way too time consuming when movies stopped being 10 minutes. And because like I
Yeah.
was trying to do my top 10 and of every year and really diving deep into it, I still gave the history lessons and stuff, but like once I started getting into like these are starting to be an hour, I'm like, I can't watch 30 of these movies and do everything else that I'm doing. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
but we found a good model and it's a fun one that
It's
you
great.
and I get to do. So, and we're
I love
just
it.
chugging along into the
Hmm.
1930s. So there you go.
Month at a
Um,
time.
do you think this would be like a weekly podcast?
Weekly would be intense. So
Oh, monthly.
it might have to run in seasons. So it'd be
Okay.
good to maybe record a season and release them weekly, but have like 12 episode seasons.
Okay.
So you could probably spend 2 months watching the movies, try and schedule, your co-hosts or guests and record them over a month or 2 month period, then release them. And then while you can take a couple of months off during that hiatus as they're airing, you can just record another season and keep it going, I suppose.
And that's so interesting to me because like I never think of that because that just doesn't come across my mind when I'm doing
Hmm.
stuff that is like, oh, I could take seasons, I could take breaks. I'm like, what's a break?
That's the American way though, right? You guys do work hard. I know obviously in Australia we work hard, but we chill a lot too.
Yeah, I don't chill.
You've been raised not to know how to, I think.
Well, I in particularly was raised not to know how to because I was raised by, of course, my mom, but also my grandparents, and my grandfather was a foreman at a Philadelphia Electric,
Mm,
and
wow.
he treated me like one of his employees sometimes for sure. And when I mean sometimes, I meant all the
All
time.
the time.
When it came to like he had me but like he made me paint our kitchen that was like evergreen to a light gold. Gave me no primer. I had to do 5 coats, and I painted for 36 hours over 3 days.
Oh, wow.
No break.
Wow.
There's this isn't a union job. There's no breaks here. And
You'd be
he'd be
lucky to
sitting
get
there
fed some
watching
soup at the end of the day. Yeah, really.
sitting watching me, pointing. He had a crooked index finger like I do. And he'd just be pointing, he's like, you missed a spot. I'm like, how about you come down here and take so, but no, that's what I was raised with, which is why I really, over the past 2 years or so, have been really pushing myself to try to take breaks at work because
Mm.
that's actually my reading time. Is that like my breaks at work? Like I try to get out of my office, go outside, on one of the benches on campus, and actually like read a book.
Yeah. Yeah.
Except that my allergies have been killing me. I'm like, I can't go outside. The happening is here. Trees are trying to kill me. Uh,
I just generally take a walk, full stop, and listen to podcasts. That's how I listen to my podcasts is when I just go out in the sun.
yeah, I have them playing around while I'm in the car or sitting at my
Mm.
desk and just
I don't
chugging
know how you
away.
concentrate, listen at your desk. I couldn't do it. I can barely play music anymore while I've got hard work to do.
It's usually a lot of numbers, a lot of data.
Mm. Ah, yeah. So I've got to do a little reading and stuff.
There you go.
Um, yeah.
But
Sorry, my son's just walked in.
it's all good. Well, you know the drill here and how I like to wrap up the show with our wild card.
Mm.
So, Adam, you get to ask me a question. What would you like to ask the Wasteland Reviewer?
Um, because I'm slack and don't prepare for this stuff, I'm gonna steal one of ones that you've already asked me, but I think I know the
Okay.
answer to a lot of these ones you've asked me, to be honest, already.
Mhm.
Um, but I'd like to know who you would star as in a biopic, because I thought that was a really interesting question.
I'm trying to remember back to who. Oh, so I this probably won't surprise you. I'm a daydreamer, and I daydream a lot about all different types of things, like different lives I could have. But if I actually made movies, there are a couple
Mm,
biopics that I would actually want to make and star
okay.
in. And the one that would be that's been like the freshest in my mind is Robert Morella, aka Gorilla Monsoon, the professional wrestler, because he is a good paisan. He is a thick boy, and he was one of the most dastardly feared wrestling monsters back in the day with his big fro and mutton chops and his hairy Italian body, and he was a big
You could pull it
monster.
off. You could pull it off.
It would be so much fun too, and he had such an interesting life. Being going from professional wrestler, becoming one of the most iconic announcers in professional wrestling.
Mm.
Him and Jesse the Body Ventura announcing the first couple of WrestleManias, and then him and Bobby the Brain Heenan, and then he was being potentially positioned to take over Worldwide Wrestling Federation from Vincent J. McMahon before his son Vincent
Oh,
Kennedy McMahon swooped in and took over, and then turned it into WWF and changed the world of professional wrestling. And but then he continued to still work for Vince McMahon through all that time. I think that would be really interesting. Or another pro wrestler that I feel like deserves a biopic is Bruno Sammartino, who
yeah.
the longest reigning WWE champion of all time. And also, he was the immigrant story. Like,
Ah, okay.
all blue collar working class people loved Bruno because he was from Italy and came to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and became this giant star in professional wrestling. So either one of them I would definitely want to
Okay.
play because I've been a huge professional wrestling fan since I was in like sixth grade. I
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
was year like I watched Monday Night Raw every single Monday for years, and I still keep up with it. I just don't have an I have professional wrestling has lowered on my hobby
Yeah.
priority list. Like, I'm not going
Mm.
to stay home and watch Raw if I have a press screening. I'm going to go to the movies. But and also just, hitting on my Italian American heritage in a way, because as I've gotten older, I've appreciated, like, I'm part of a community and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, I
you know,
like that.
I want to spread, we're not just a bunch of gangsters kind of stories, and being able to have other stories about Italian Americans. And like, even like, I love
Is that
Rocky.
is that a
He worked
real stereotype though? Do people genuinely like think you're a gangster
so
though?
so
With
Adam,
that shirt maybe,
what
but
a- I'm wearing a Muppet shirt, Adam. What mobsters would be walking around in a Muppet shirt? I'm in the Muppet Mafia.
Muppet
Um
mobsters, yeah. The
a
mobsters.
waka waka. But um think about what are the most influential films about Italian Americans. The
Yeah.
Godfather,
Yeah.
Goodfellas, a most influential show about Italian Americans, The Sopranos.
Yeah,
What do they
wow.
all have in common, Adam? So
I nearly had a movie in my head. I'm like, no, that's an Italian. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what it was.
well, even Rocky, like, he was
Yeah.
an enforcer
Yeah.
for the mob. So
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
it all floats back down to that. And Rocky Balboa, I'm still convinced, is the shining light of Italian American culture, and is a beacon of hope, because I'm proud
Mm.
of Rocky Balboa being an Italian American from Philly. Seeing as I grew up right across the river, and my
Mm.
family are a bunch of South Philly Italians. So, but
Yeah.
I I watched something like when Ray Romano's Somewhere in Queens came out. I'm like, oh my God, this is just about an Italian American family that act like
They're
my
not.
family, and none of them are in the mob. It's like, look
Yeah,
at that.
cool. That's well, they've done it. Yeah, that's good. I didn't know. I've never seen that show. I've never heard of that show actually.
So, but yeah, so either one of those professional wrestlers would be my answer. But
Yeah.
and I get to do some professional wrestling too. That would be fun. It's gonna be the next Iron Claw, except less depressing.
I thought you were gonna say the next Nacho Libre,
Nacho.
but
Well, that is Mexican lucha libre wrestling, Adam. This is very much American
yeah.
wrestling. But anyway, Adam, thank you as always for coming on and chatting movies, music, books, whatever the hell with
Yeah.
me.
A pleasure, man. Always a pleasure. I love talking to you. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. And thank all of you out there for always tuning in and supporting your Wasteland Reviewer.